All right, welcome back to Professor Wins, and today I have a different type of video for you guys. If you guys are new to the channel, please subscribe and like it. If you subscribe, you will be automatically a part of a giveaway, or you have a chance to win the giveaway, which is a lottery ticket multiple times a week. So if you subscribe, you will be put in for that for basically as long as this channel survives, every giveaway that happens with that. So it's free, right? So if you subscribe, it's worth it. You have nothing to lose. And who knows, maybe a year down the road, maybe tomorrow, who knows, maybe you'll win. So yeah, let's get into this video. It's going to be a little bit different besides, just showing off the lottery tickets. We're going to have some new videos on this channel, tips, some other fun videos as well. But today we're going to do credit. So let's get into it. All right, so I realize that a lot of people do not have a grasp on credit, especially when it comes to the basics. And credit is really something that you could utilize to either benefit you or completely destroy you. So it's probably good to at least have the basics down. People will actually charge you to know this stuff, or to show you this stuff. So I'm going to show you for free. It won't be like the prettiest PowerPoint or prettiest presentation, but it's free. So you have nothing to lose. You're just gaining information at this time. So let's get into it. So we're going to start out with the top one, which is amount of credit usage. This is a big one, and it is very important to master and know. So a lot of people have a lot of trouble with this, and I understand, because if you don't make a lot of money and you throw everything on your credit card, you could really kind of screw up your credit usage. But there are some little tips and tricks that I'll go into to help you with this. So everything that I am telling you, literally you could search on Google. Again, people will actually charge you to show you this, which is ridiculous. But I am showing you for free. So stick with me here. So a lot of credit cards want you to be below the 30% mark. And then again, obviously it shows you here 10% is the best, right? So for example, if you have $1,000 balance you could use and you are at $500, you are at 50%. So 30% would be the 300. Under the 10 obviously would be, $99 or something. So there's some simple tips with this. So if you are maxing out your credit card every month, then you definitely are going to have a lower score because of this. It's not going to completely destroy your score, but you're not going to hit the highest score you can because of this, right? So some tips with this, right? Ask for a higher balance. You could ask for one every so often. Don't just obviously keep asking every month, because I'll go into that, but that will also lower your credit. If you don't ask for credit or haven't got new loans in a while and you think they're going to give you a higher balance, ask for it. It is free to ask. The worst they could say is no, and who knows, maybe they'll give you a higher balance, and that 30% for $1,000 now is 30% for $2,000, right? So very big difference, and it could actually help with that 30%. But then again, you also got to be more mature, because now you have a $2,000 balance that you can max out. So obviously take that in consideration. Another tip with this is that you could get different credit cards. There are many credit cards you could get. You could always ask for more. Obviously don't ask for a credit card every month, again, because that will destroy your credit. But say you haven't opened something in a while and you want a new credit card and your debt to income ratio is good, then ask for or apply for one. But another tip for this is get a credit card that works for you. Don't just get one that comes in the mail and it says like, hey, you sign up for this, you'll have 0 interest for the first year, or we'll give you $300 for the first year if you spend this much. That is such a scam and trash deal. Look at the long-term benefits. Look at, for example, if you bought a house and you have all these projects, maybe a Lowe's credit card that gives you 3% cash back every time you have a purchase, or a Home Depot credit card where you could basically have 0 interest with every purchase for the first 2 years. So look at these benefits, right? I utilize many, like a lot. One of them throws stuff right into a high yield savings account. Another one throws stuff either into a high yield savings account or into a stock account of my choice. So there's so many different stuff you would utilize. And I actually have one also for, if I have something for a home, 0 interest for a certain amount of time. So there's so many different credit cards you could use that will actually benefit you. Just choose one. Even if you like to travel, they have ones for travel. So just take that into consideration. So debt to income, this is not necessarily a huge tip, but this is basically, um, if like banks will not necessarily give you a lot of loans if you are over the amount that you could afford. So just take that in consideration when asking for credit because you're close to your debt to income ratio. They might reject you, and that could also lower your credit if you get rejected for a loan. Um, Again, this is not necessarily, for example, if you have $1 million in debt, that has nothing to do with it. It has more with the payments. So if you are making $2,000 a month and your payments are $2,000 a month, then you definitely, if someone has half a heart, they will reject you because they should, right? So let's get into the next one. Let's do the easy one, paying on time. This speaks for itself. If you pay on time, you will, that's actually a huge chunk. You will benefit. A tip for that is we're back to this credit card page. With almost all of these, I could guarantee you that you could choose the time that you pay. For all the credit cards you have right now, you could choose when to pay. So take that in consideration. If, for example, you have student loans in the beginning of the month, maybe you want to make it towards the end, or if your student loans are due at the end of the month, or your car payment, whatever, etc. Maybe make your credit card due closer to the beginning of the month, so that way you could split up your bills and budget more correctly. If everything's due at the end of the month, a lot of people do not think that far ahead, and they will destroy their credit because they rack up all this debt, and by the end of the month they can't afford it. So think a little bit smarter. This kind of gets us into types of loan. This is also an important part of credit. So types of loan, it could be personal loan, student loan, car loan, home loan, so many different types. Credit likes to see different types of loans, if that makes sense. It's not a huge part of your credit score, but it is a part of it. So if you just have credit cards, you might not be fully benefiting, like as if you had student loans, a car loan, and a home loan. Now, you shouldn't just get that stuff just to get it, right? So if you could buy a car outright, I'd probably recommend buying the car outright rather than getting a loan. So especially like, a personal loan. If you don't need a personal loan, don't get a personal loan. But in the long run, if you have all these things, that is something that might benefit you. But if you get all those loans, then it could also be negative if you can't afford it. So, all right. So payment history, probably not the right wording, but basically what I mean by this is how long you had loans for or credit. That actually affects your score. So for me, one downfall is until recently, one of the negatives on one of the apps I'll show you was that my credit score my credit wasn't long term, right? So for them, I didn't have this long track record of credit or loans or whatever. So that was actually negative. For you guys, if you are new to credit or you don't have credit, starting earlier is better, believe it or not. So if you're young and your parent puts you on their credit card with your name on it, it actually could benefit you. There's other cards that are just debit cards that will actually help you build your credit. Now, this also goes for like if you have a student loan early on, that's going to help you in the long run because your payment history will be longer as long as it's positive payment history. So, kind of getting into asking for credit, and this is important because if you are going to apply for loans or credit, you should not be asking for it every month. You will either get rejected or it's going to look kind of like you are needy of it, and for lack of a better word, and your credit score will go down. If you notice, every time that you get a credit check for a loan, your credit score actually dips a little bit. But 3 months down the road, it actually looks better if you are following everything. So it's beneficial as long as you're not asking for it every 2 seconds. For some reason, that is bad. So don't do it. But at the same token, if you have not asked for credit in a long time, if you did not ask for a raise in your balance, these are things that could increase it. So utilize it. If it's been 6 months and you didn't get a increase or you didn't get a new credit card that you might want, why not? It could actually benefit you. Another side note, if you're going for a house loan, you have a 3-month span between when you choose a broker. So broker runs your credit and they're like, hey, you were pre-approved for $300,000, right? And you don't like that. Maybe you think you could be pre-approved for higher, or you think you like this other broker more. Go to them, and within 3 months, your credit getting run will not be affected. So utilize that. Get some good options. Don't just go with the first person you meet. That's just a side note. I thought I should throw it in there. Kind of already went over types of cards. So lastly, this Experian app is beautiful. You should download it. I will show. Okay, so this is just a snippet of it because obviously I'm not going to show you everything about my credit. My credit score is actually really good, but I'm not going to show you everything because it's kind of personal information. But this is to show you what the app is and to tell you some benefits. They do have recommended cards. Again, I don't know if it's paid promotions, so do your research. Do what benefits you. Side note, check out the APRs because, some of them are extremely high. But the reason why you should have this app is because it will tell you your score. It will tell you why your score is a certain way. It will show you why it's going up, why it's going down. I'll give you an example for me. I was going to get a house, and the guy, he's helped me with a bunch of houses. He ran my credit, found out there was a collections thing randomly. I didn't even know. I go on this app, I figure out what the collections is, figured out it was a bill from an electric company. I call them up and get that settled right away because obviously I would have paid it, but I didn't get the notice. So got that figured out, got it wiped off the record, and to be honest, I would have had trouble figuring out what it was if I didn't have this app. So utilize it. It will tell you the balances of all your credit cards, the balances of all your loans. It's just so beautiful. Another thing you could do is you could close your credit. I do this because everyone recently lost their social security numbers to black market or whatever. So you could actually stop it so no one could open credit. You could freeze it. You could unfreeze it instantly. Very beautiful app. It's free. Obviously, they have paid versions. You don't need it, but get it. Very beneficial. I use it. You can't really go wrong with this app at all. All right, guys. So that's basically the simple facts about credit, how to improve it, how to keep it going good. Again, the tips is you always increase your balance. You could always apply for more cards or loans, etc. That might help you out. And utilize them to your benefit. Utilize the interest rates to your benefit. Or not the interest rates, but the amount you could have for a card for your benefit. Utilize the benefits of knowing your debt to income. Utilize all these types of things. At the end of the day, if you do this and you do it correctly, you will have a 100 credit score. Guaranteed. It might take time, but you will have it. I hope you enjoyed the video. I know people actually have videos on this. I know people actually charge for this. So hopefully it helped you out. If it did, please like and subscribe. Anything it benefits you because you will be entered to win money or possibly win money. So appreciate the love And peace out till the next video.